Hey everyone, here is part 2, copying an angle. That way if we want to create this angle again and again and again, what we're going to do is we're going to be able to copy it. Alright, so that way eventually what you'll be able to do is make this thing right down here. That looks really cool. Right? So what you're going to do first is we need to start off with one side of your angle to start with. It doesn't matter where it is, it doesn't matter what it looks like. I'm actually going to just make it, let's move this back a little bit so you can see maybe. Alright, so we're going to make it so it's over here. So it has nothing to actually do with this angle. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to put the point at the vertex, which is where the two segments or rays or whatever they are meet. Right here is the vertex. Alright, so we're going to put our point right at that vertex. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust my compass to make sure that it goes through both sides. And this is the side and that's the side, both arcs. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just check. If I go all the way in, I get as close as I can, it's going to go through this side, and if I go through this way, it's also going to go through this side. Alright, so what I can do now is I'm just going to mark it down, and now I've got a pretty good spot. I'm going to check, do I have it here, and do I have the point on the vertex? I do. So I'm going to keep that there. I'm actually going to rotate this around so I can use my right hand because I'm a little bit better that way. So I have to go and try this part now, which is fine. So there we go. Goes here. I'm going to make an arc. And I just have to find the intersection. I don't have to make the full arc. I'm going to do an intersection there and another intersection here. Okay? So I've done that. See? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to make an arc on this one. I haven't changed my compass at all, so there's my arc. And now I'm going to make an arc where I think this one's going to be. Now the smart thing to do is make that arc bigger than the other one, okay? So I'm going to go through, I'm going to make this one bigger than where I think it's going to be, because I think it's an obtuse angle, so it's got to be more than 90, but less than 180. So I'm just going to go and make that more than 90, less than 180. It's bigger, that's okay. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from this point where the intersection of my arc to one of the sides is, and I'm going to find that one, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side using the compass. So I'm going to move this one out here. So I'm going to find to make sure that it's right on, and it takes a little time to get it real nice. There, that looks good to me. And one thing you can do to check is if you actually just put your pencil right in there, does it go through that same point? Pretty good. Alright, so that means that this distance is what I've really measured, right? So that means I have the same thing from here. So I'm going to put my point right on that spot, and I'm going to put my arc right on there. And you just go make this new arc until it crosses. So there's my new arc. Right, so now I can put the point right here, and then I just connect my angle to this point and the end point of the other side. So I just connect these right here. And there I have copied that angle. Now you might say, this side is a little bit shorter, this side's a little bit longer. We're not worried about the length of the sides. We're worried about this angle. Alright, so if I want to make this to be exactly the same, what I would do is I would copy a segment to copy this side, copy this segment to copy this side, and I would just mark them and then erase. Alright, so there you go. That's how you copy an angle.